The government is forging ahead with its plan to create an agency to work towards a manned re-entry into the Pike River drift, with the possibility that it could happen by late next year. Now, the Pike River Recovery Agency will gather evidence about what happened in the 2010 tragedy in which 29 people died and consider how to avoid such accidents in the future. It will be established in January with a budget of up to $23 million over 3 years. While making the announcement a short time ago, the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern had this message for the families.
We're giving them the commitment we're going to do everything within our power to try. And that's all they've ever asked of us. Of course, they've always had competing evidence against what has been provided by the last government that told them that an entry was possible. We've committed to establishing an agency to see that through. But what we've both committed to together is that safety is a priority. And what we've said is if we uncover any information that says that there are problems along the journey to re-entry, we will work it through together.
Ms Ardern says, of course, there will be risks.
Our job is to mitigate them as far as possible and to weigh up whether there was an acceptable level of risk. But as I've said, there are risks every day that those miners walked into that mine. The risk they took on was an unacceptable level of risk at the hands of the company they worked for. Now it's incumbent on us to make the right decision to try and re-enter that drift. But, of course, we've got to do it with all the information, make our best endeavours to re-enter, but, of course, weigh up those risks as we go.
Jacinda Ardern speaking in the Beehive a short time ago. The responsible minister, Andrew Little, expects the agency to deliver him a plan by early 2019. The plan would then be peer-reviewed and a decision made about whether it's safe to proceed. He says the existing health and safety legislation would not need to be changed.
We will go through the normal risk assessment and hazard assessment steps that any business or any organisation would go through in a project like this. And in the end, the decision will come back to me as minister. I'll have the benefit of the advice from the agency. Their advice will have been peer reviewed, and I will have an independent advisor to me as well as minister, so that all those checks and balances are provided.
Andrew Little, this would of course be a manned re-entry, meaning the government has also scrapped current plans announced by the national government in January to send a robot into the mine. That was due to be sent in by Christmas. It is now not happening. All of that announced in the past hour or so. It's